What's up, guys? Legacy Card Gaming here. I'm here with Alpay Engin, and he want to show us his deck profile, Light Swarms.
Yeah, it's once I played it in Stuttgart, I won. I played it at LLDS, I won. And some of my friends also played it, and I got a lot of messages that I show my Light Swarm deck. So I said, why not? Let's show it.
Okay, let's hop into
the main deck.
it.
I think that should be pretty much stable. It's one of the best cards. It's a level 4 tuner. It's a Light Swarm card, so for Minerva, for like everything, it's so important to play free offs.
Obvious.
Same as the Wolves. Both suck from the draw, but it's fine because you have solar recharges and you can summon the Goblin Berg. It's also played. And this is one more target for Minerva because when you mill with Minerva, you get a word draw and you can swift summon it. So it's really important. It's also level 4, and yeah, it's a light one. I think one of the best ones. So to Felice, I decided to play Felice only 2 times because it only triggers when you send it with a monster effect to the graveyard. And this also triggers when I send for Solar Recharge or Charge of the Light Brigade to the graveyard. So I preferred Free Wolf and 2 Felice.
Okay.
Yeah, then 1 Lila for clearing back rows. It's also Light Swarm's fine. And 1 Lumina, which allows you to send your important cards like the Clowns or like the Fairy Tale to your graveyard, and you can easily make Michael with the Raiden. So you get much more plays because of it. Because when you hand sucked, you've only 5 monsters which are not really useful. You can use discard Clown or Fairy Tale, and then I can continue. Because you can
So 10 Light Swarms.
10 Light Swarms, fine. Yeah, then triple Fairy Tale. I think no introductions like the card of the deck. Without discards, I think Light Swarm wouldn't be that great because it's really offensive and really defensive. Because you can summon it to book your opponent's monsters, and you can also use it multiple times because not once per turn. So you can go for a lot of Exceeds or Synchro summons just with this card in the graveyard. You can remove your spells about so easily. Yeah, then to make some rank force is the double Treasure and the double Goblin Berg. Like Treasure's fine because it doesn't get hurt by Maxi because it's an intern summon. And this card is really great. You can only summon this and this too, so these aren't that useful in your hand. And it's Earth level 4, so you can go with the Grab Bulb to the Fury Beast, and with same as this one's also the Earth monster, so you can go for the Fury Beast really often because you can make instant fusion, summon this or this back, then go with the Fury Beast with this card.
Of course.
Okay, and double Clown. The thing was I need to decide between this and this because I had 3 Clowns and 2 Fairy Tales, but I saw that Fairy Tale is really, really important in your graveyard because, as I said, it's offensive and defensive, so you have some protection in your graveyard. And yeah, that's why I decided to play 3 and only 2 because I have no space for more. And yeah, the double Maxi because I like Maxi a lot of. I always want to play Maxi because if you don't play Maxi, you have a disadvantage against your opponent because if your opponent plays Maxis and you're not, it's such a huge a problem. Like this card is great against mostly every deck, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. 23 monsters, think something like that. Yeah, and obviously triple Solar Recharge.
All the staples.
Yeah, triple Desire because this card's so great with Omega because you can use your removed monster of the Desires for Omega. So if you remove something like Fairy Tale, you can then back to your graveyard with this card. And it's a +1. And also, this deck doesn't rely on the main deck that much. It relies on the extra deck with the Minervas and this stuff. So you have no really key card in your deck, which hurts you. Expect maybe the Raiden, but you can search that Raid easily. And if you remove 3, it's also fine because you have Felice as a tuner. And you can send it back with Omega to your graveyard, the Raidens. So, like, this is the best deck for this card. Yeah, triple instant fusion because of Norden, it's kind of obvious. It's also a spell you can remove with Fairy Tale. Then also Solar Recharge, Charge of Light Brigade, sorry. Yes, the Search and the Miller, it's incredibly good to open with it. Double Twin for any back row decks, and sometimes good because you can discard your Clowns or you discard your Fairy Tales, and then you can go from there on. Then the consistent cards, 1 Foolish, 1 Rota, search out Raiden, Treasure, Goblin Berg, 1000 Blades, so a lot of good targets for it. This makes a Natural Beast so easily because if you have an Earth monster and this card, you can go for Natural Beast. Natural Beast is incredibly good with backup with the Fairy Tale in the graveyard. and 1 soul charge. This card is really great when you go first and have a setup, but sometimes when I go second I didn't like that much, because you can't attack and you're gonna pay a lot of life points because of that, and give your opponent 1 more turn for it. So you can interrupt his plays. And yeah, as a trap on warning.
Why you decide playing Warning over Vanity's Emptiness?
Warning is a card like if you have some spells in this card, you can set everything face down, and so your opponent needs a joker. Either he goes for a big pendulum sum or not. Like if you have this one, and he set up 2 scales to activate emptiness, he can MST the other card because I wait with emptiness until the end. So this card is incredibly good for the pendulum summon, because pendulum's like my worst matchup. I think so. Yeah. So also get against fiends and like pretty much everything. Warning is a
That
good
makes
card.
sense.
Okay, 40 cards obviously. Never play more than 40 cards, my friends.
Wise words.
Yes, so yeah. To Emerald, this card is like really important in this deck, because my deck is totally based on rank 4 plays and Omegas, and this card gives you a lot of resources back. Because you're going with Solar, with Charge, with Minerva, you mill a lot of light swans, and then this card helps you get it back. So you can use your double Minervas to plus much more with them. Because if you have like 3 light swans in the deck, this is not worth to use it. So you're gonna go for Emerald, draw 1 card, and have like 3 more light swans in my deck, and then go for Minerva.
So 2 Emerald are definitely needed.
Yeah, I definitely need it in this deck. Then double Dweller. I was a bit scared of Burning Abyss when I go first, so I preferred the second one. It was kind of okay. Maybe I'm gonna kick it, but still a great card.
Yeah.
So the one of the castle, obviously, they have 0. Like this card came up so much because you have like a lot of exceeds on your first or second turn, and then you go for F0, attack your opponent's monster, get it, and then use the Fairy Tail, remove his monster. So it's a great out against Dark Planet and Dark Destroyer, everything. Like also Dante, you can remove it with Fairy Tail as well. So I think there's no introduction for that. One Direwolf. I like Direwolf because you can pop your wolves, you can pop your castle with it, and yeah, you need something to clear your back row. Because you're gonna lose against back row sometimes. So this is one of which clears the back row really, really easily.
Yep.
Yeah, Double Omega. I think it's pretty much needed. Sending back all your removed monsters like Fairy Tail and this stuff. As I said, the 2 beasts, because I play Bulb and some Earth monsters, same as Trisha, it's level 9. Pretty easy to summon.
Yep.
Like if you're Fairy Tail in your graveyard and you go for this one, your opponent's Prog Blades, or with Heck Whaler, you can chain your Fairy Tail from your graveyard, remove this one, and this goes through because Whaler and Prog Blade doesn't affect it anyway. Okay, and 1 Michael because I play Lumina, and not one because you play 3 instant fusions. Okay, that's the extra. No sideboard.
Best card.
Yeah, 3 Flying Sea. I prefer to play Flying Sea over Winter Cherry, because this card is also great when you go when you draw it later on, like in the game, in the mid game. Because when you go for Cherry on the remove of opponent's Dante, you can still go for like Levia, for Breaksword, and some back row, and gonna win anyway. So this stops your opponent immediately. He needs to have something like Foolish for Arlish, but yeah, it's just a one-off. Then 2 Kaijus, yeah, Blue Eyes, these stuff. Also maybe Pendulum for tributing screen and auto game. Yeah, it goes over for DDD, for Pendulum, for like everything. Still side only play 1. Then double Dark Hole because I was scared of any hero decks with the Tolkien. Same as this one, there's just also out against Fiends, Majestic and Vanity's Fiend. Yeah, the third twin for any back row decks. Yeah, 3 Typhoon. Like Typhoon is, I think, the best card against Pendulum because it's a hand trap and you can set it anyway. So you can use it on the Skyers, on the Ariadne or Abductor or whatever. So it's broken, really broken. And to Strikes, yeah, Strike is cool, same as Emptiness, like you set it with all your cards. And your opponent needs to poker, either he goes for a random MST and hit one of you a lot of back rows, or he goes to Pendulum Summon and this stops him. And this is like a really good card when you go first. When you go second, you can decide not to side it, but yeah. I like the card very much. I think that's it, yeah. Boys.
Okay, Alpay, any last words?
Yeah, if you are able to buy Minervas, go for Minerva decks. It's a pretty good deck. And I'm really so proud of my team because they played the deck and they topped and won the LLDS and other tournaments. So I think we have quite a good result so far of the deck. And maybe we're gonna play for Liverpool. Let's see. But that's it. Best
Okay,
team
Alpay.
LCG, obviously.
Thanks for the profile.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye bye.